Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and in this video I need to update my leveling guide. Now, normally my leveling guide would have been safe for probably the past 2.5 years. Depending on when you start a new expansion, the order you do the characters, and all of that stuff will be the same. Now, if you haven't watched that video, I cover multiple character leveling, single character leveling, the order to play those characters in those first 2 weeks if you're trying to prepare for the raid, what I mean by soft cap, powerful cap, pinnacle cap. All of those things are covered in there. So if you haven't seen that video, please go click on it. Link is going to be up in the description pretty much right now. So if you haven't seen that one, click on that one. It'll fill in most of the gaps. It's also in the description. It'll also be at the very end. So multiple places. If you haven't seen that one, it covers a lot. The only difference is the information we got on Thursday with the TWAB with regards to one step to this leveling process. The order of the characters, still the same. When to do powerfuls, when to do pinnacles, all that still is the same. The difference is there's going to be one thing to put in between there. So what's going to happen is you're going to boot up Witch Queen, and you're going to go through the campaign. It's the new expansion, new campaign. That's the thing you want to do. Now, we knew Legend difficulty was coming. We didn't know if you had to beat it on normal first. We didn't know what the rewards were. We have this information now, and it really is a game changer for how you are going to level. Now, what it says is if you complete all the missions on Legend difficulty, it's not going to be an easy thing to do, I'll tell you that, but it is going to be doable. They told us there is player scaling, so if you're solo or 3 people, it's going to be a different experience. It's not 3x for the 3 people, so they're not ridiculously spongy, but the single person's not going against the enemies that would be for, a trio. They kind of describe it as harder than a Legend Nightfall, which right now, you go pick up a Legend Nightfall, those are going to be about 1320, so they're really not too bad. But I mean, that's kind of your difficulty scaling at this current time. They said, though, it's easier than a solo dungeon or running a Grandmaster. So it's probably like below Master Nightfall, above Legend. Somewhere between these two would be my kind of speculative guess. When you solo a dungeon, they design that stuff around a solo player so it can be done, even if you are patient to do it. Now, I don't want to scare you guys away. I'm just trying to be honest as to how the difficulty is going to be. They're going to be more difficult to stagger, a little more higher damage resistance. There's probably going to be more bosses instead of elites, more red bars coming at you. So, first recommendation, you may want to do this with a group. But again, why would you put yourself through this, especially early on? Well, one thing is they say you cannot overlevel for this content. It's going to have basically mission power caps. So, say the mission says the mission power cap is 1375, say, for the second mission. So if you're above 1375, you get no benefit. Same way they do contest mode for raids, this is going to be that way. So you can't really overlevel. So if you go through the campaign, you finish up the campaign, say you're like, hey, I got to 1420 in the campaign. Well, the soft cap is 1500, you still have a bit of a grind to go. But if you go back into the campaign in Legendary at about 1420, you're probably going to kind of scale with being above that power cap, so then you would at least be at that cap. Now, the only reason I'm going to tell you to do this from the get-go is to either save yourself time or if you have a group to play with. Me, I'm going to try it solo first, just because that's something I personally want to do. For the experience, also to show many of you, because I'm going to put out videos on those missions explaining the best way to do those, especially from the get-go. But again, why do this? And the biggest thing is the reward of the gear set that you get is going to drop at 1520. 20 levels into that powerful grind. Soft cap is 1500. You can do anything you want up to 1500. Then as soon as you see 1500, the only way you're going to get higher levels if you do something that says a challenge and powerful gear, or something that says pinnacle gear. And that's something I covered in the other video. And that's how you go from 1500 to 1550, which I told you before. If you haven't seen that video, again, go watch it. I cover all of that. And even then, I described there's a thing to do for PvP before you start doing your powerfuls and pinnacles. This is the thing you need to do before that. So what you need to do is before you get to that soft cap, or if you just get to the soft cap naturally, and then you go back and do the legendary campaign, this is the first step before you touch anything else with regards to powerfuls, pinnacles, or the PvP grind for glory and valor through the survival playlist. All of that stuff comes after you do the legendary campaign, because getting a batch of gear at 1520 is going to substantially shorten that grind, and then also boost your average for that first character that's going to transfer to those future characters. And they described it as you're going to basically get a set of blue gear. Not really anything you're going to care to hold on to, but they're also giving you 8 upgrade modules to go with it. So you're going to get 8 upgrade modules, 8 pieces of gear. Take the blue gear that you just got, and they say 8 upgrade modules, which makes me think they're going to give you 5 pieces of armor and theoretically 3 weapons. So then you're going to be able to bring 3 weapons up to 1520. All of your armor, put that into a few legendary pieces that you have, make those 1520. Then you can start your Powerful and Pinnacle grind, and my recommendation, if you're willing, during that Powerful grind, before you ever get to anything that says Pinnacle, make sure you spend time in that Glory playlist. I covered that before. What that's going to do is then when you start your Powerful grind, getting things that are now going to be 1521, 1522, 1523, by the time you're done with everything on the screen that is Powerful and Pinnacle for that first character that you play, your weapons might end up at like 1527. You're halfway to that Powerful cap already. Then when you move those over to that second character that you're playing in that first week, you're starting 1527 weapons. Then theoretically, especially if you have friends, go do that campaign straight away on Legend difficulty. You already know what to expect. You get that 1520 armor set. Your average is already higher because those weapons are, say, 1527. So your first powerful drop is going to be basically 1523 for an average. And then your drop's going to be like 1526. So your armor, if you get a piece of your first piece of armor, might drop at first piece of armor from a powerful piece of gear might drop at 1526 on your second character. And then you'll go through the same progression I described before. But that Legend difficulty campaign needs to be either the first thing you do when you hit 1500 in that soft cap to make sure, you feel like you're comfortable to be scaled above it, or as soon as possible before that. If you feel like you go through a couple missions, you're like, this is a little too easy. Go back to the first ones, start it on Legendary, and if you can't do it on Legendary then, if you got a friend, pull them into it, or get a little bit higher just to make sure at that power cap to do it. The benefits, I cannot scream this loud enough from the rafters. Getting a set of armor that's going to bump you up 20 levels past that soft cap is going to speed up your leveling process so much. So the sooner you can do the Legend difficulty campaign, the better off you're going to be. So that's the only change. Whenever you do the campaigns up to the soft cap, just get the legendary campaign done before you start Powerfuls, Pinnacles, and everything like that. The order of the characters is still the same. For the 2 weeks, if you have multiple characters, all that is still the same. Just get that legendary campaign done, get that jump up to 1520, and then you're going to be even faster up to that powerful cap. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like below if you did. Leave a comment if there's anything you think I didn't discuss in here. And if you haven't seen my other video, please watch that one. It should be popping up on screen soon. You guys should see that one in the description as well. It covers anything else about leveling you haven't seen as well. And if you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis for Twitch streaming, which I will be doing a little variety before Witch Queen and like marathoning during Witch Queen over on Twitch. Other than that, find me right here on YouTube with that subscribe button. Hit that alert bell to see my new content. Hopefully make it to you. That alert bell does help. And thank you all very much. I'll see you soon.